Hello, everybody, and welcome to Into the Weeds podcast here on Military Broadcast Radio. I'm Amber.
And I'm Laura.
And thank you guys for joining us tonight. Sorry about that. I had the video looped on accident. So that is our new intro, thanks to Laura. It's a work in progress.
It's a work in progress, but it's fine for now. Also, we got a new camera. It has better quality, but it also is like cutting off half of our heads. So
we're trying to figure it out.
We're figuring it out. Doing it. We're doing the darn thing.
Yeah. So thank you everybody for being here. We've got Diana and Sam, Stinkbug Potato, Jelly the Best, and Teffy. So thank you guys for joining us tonight. We have a lot to talk about tonight, but first, before we start on that, I have a friend who passed away, and so we're going to do a tribute for him. He was a Vietnam veteran, and so it's important here on Military Broadcast Radio to honor our veterans. So it's my friend Delmer Monroe. He was 81 years old, and he was a resident of Lynn, Missouri. He was born May 9th, 1944 in St. Louis, and he was a graduate, a 1962 graduate of Lynn High School and attended Lynn State Technical College and Lincoln University. On August 24th, 1968, he was united in marriage to Lana Gove at the Oklahoma Church of Christ. She's the survivor of the home. So Delmer proudly served his country as a member of the United States Army, serving a total of 37 years. He was a federal technical rotary wing mechanic while in the Army. Delmer worked as a chief deputy for Osage County and then joined the Missouri National Guard until he retired. After retirement, he was employed at Thriftway Supermarket in Lynn, which is cute. Delmer also served as an EMT and a firefighter. He believed in volunteering and helping everyone. He helped run a food pantry with Capital City Christian Church in the 1990s, and he did that for a whole 10 years until he got sick and couldn't operate it anymore. He was a very proud Christian, very patriotic, a firm believer in our constitutional rights, especially the right to bear arms. And his granddaughter did say that every year for Lana's birthday, he would buy her a new rifle because it was at the start of hunting season. But he didn't hunt. He just liked buying the rifles. So Delmer was also a charter member and elder of Lynn Community Christian Church, and he was also a member of the BFW Post 4736. And he was a part of the Masons. He was also a past president of Osage County Water District 2 and had served as the civil defense president for Osage County. So I also did find out that Delmer really loved Bigfoot and aliens.
Really?
Yes.
What a thing to find out after the fact.
I know. So had I known, I would have had a long conversation with him, because I actually spent, I went and visited him in the hospital, and then for about a year, my husband's been going and visiting him at his home. So we're going to play a very small video for Delmer real quick.
Oh, how cute.
So that was Delmer Monroe. And thank you for your service, Delmer.
Absolutely. And I never got to meet him, but I hope that he rests in peace. I know that Dad's been going over there and, spending time with him for a while. And,
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I forgot to say that Delmer's favorite pastime was bird watching. Yes, especially as he got older and couldn't do a lot. He sat in his recliner and watched the birds, and his favorite bird was the cardinals. So.
I was just going to say we have some beautiful cardinals that come around sometimes, and some hummingbirds as well. So
yes,
good stuff. I'm glad.
So we've got a lot more people joining us. We've got Bubbles, good to see you, and Just Me, Amy Unfiltered, Cherokee Girl. Cherokee, did you get your sweatshirt?
Oh, yes.
And then we've got Sam. Yeah, okay. And Festering Fancy. So thank you guys for being here. Oh, the real salty potion, or the real Sally potions.
Sorry for joining, and the people that aren't in chat as well, and the people that are on the rewatch.
You haven't gotten it? Oh, dang, it said it was delivered. Did I deliver it to the wrong place?
That would super suck.
Okay, we'll have to get in touch and figure that out.
Cherokee Girl is here for every single live stream. She donates for every single live stream. We just wanted to send her a cute little sweatshirt or something. It was a sweatshirt.
Yes, yeah. Sweatshirt.
Which one did she get?
The alien and the Bigfoot.
I like that one.
Obviously, it hasn't gotten to her, so I may have to go send her another one.
Go and figure it out. Maybe some random person.
Be right back.
Maybe some random person got a brand new Into the Weeds sweatshirt.
Yeah.
And they'll look it up and they'll tell us about it. I don't know.
Hopefully. Okay. Well, we are actually going to pick up where we left off because last week we had Stephanie, Mrs. Fancy Pants, and the week before that we had Stephanie Davis. And we're kind of just building on learning more about Utah, the laws and the loopholes, and the things that are going on there that really need to be challenged and changed. So without further ado, we're going to bring both Stephanies up. Oh.
The interview of the week is brought to you by Jersey Mike's, a sub above.
Hello, Stephanie and Stephanie. Hi. I'm going to call Mrs. Fancy Pants, Mrs. Fancy Pants. That way I don't get confused.
Okay, that works.
Fancy Pants and Stephanie, how are you both doing?
I have to rebrand myself though. I don't think I can do like real advocacy work if I have kidnapped on a Saturday, like pinned at the top.
Understand, but you know what? Everyone needs to know about the kidnapping that happened on Saturday.
My husband asked me about that today. He's like, Mrs. Fancy Pants, that's not the one lady, right? I'm like, no.
It is the one lady, just a different one lady, not the one that deserves to be behind bars.
So thank you, Stephanie and
Stephanie
for joining us tonight again. But we're going to get into the loopholes and the laws of Utah and how it affects you guys and what you guys want to change and what you want to talk about. I didn't really prepare this much, I didn't really prepare much this week because I kind of wanted to hear what you guys had to say about all of this together.
Yeah.
So, go ahead.
Do you want to let Stephanie start?
No. Sorry, Stephanie. I'm just messing with you.
Oh, I'm like, all right, let's go.
No, okay. So, Stephanie Davis's son was almost kidnapped or almost abused. He was definitely scared out of his mind. And then Miss Fancy Pants, she also has dealt with abuse from all of the different laws and loopholes that go on in Utah. And Fancy Pants was basically trafficked, right? You were
I was labor trafficking.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So let's get into what you guys want to accomplish for Utah. Where do you want to start?
So I would start on the most blaring one, and that is eliminate the clergy penitent exception. Every
And what
single
is
state
that?
has it.
Oh, every
And
single
Every
state?
single state?
yes, every single state has a variation of this.
Wow.
Oh,
Um,
okay. So tell us what that is.
so what it does is it allows people who come to the bishop or the priest in confession to keep that confession private.
Mm.
So because of the clergy penitent exception, they can go and they can just admit that they have done horrible, horrible things to a young child. And what the clergy has to do is take it as a confession, and they can't necessarily do anything with that. So
So
they
if
can
so
a
like if
lot a lot of the times it actually prevents them, bishops, from fully reporting these events too.
okay, so what you're saying is if, just for instance, my pastor, okay, if my pastor had somebody tell them something like that, they would get in trouble for going to the law?
Depends on the church, and it depends on if the person wanted to sue. So, what it is they say that it's covered in our First Amendment rights. So our right to free speech, our right to religion, and it intersects there. So that's the problem with that one. But there's other things that we really, really want. Um, Clergy should be mandated reporters, but they're
Yeah,
not, especially
definitely.
not in Utah.
Yeah, that makes when you told me that last time, I was just like, that goes
Isn't
that
it
flies
mind-boggling?
completely. Yeah, it flies completely in the face of everything that clergy are supposed to do. They're supposed to protect and shepherd and guide. They're not supposed to cover up
It sounds like
and
they're protecting the wrong
enable.
people.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
they're protecting the wrong people.
Yeah, they are
Yep.
protecting the wrong people. Exactly. If you
Yeah.
think about it, I think most states might have been like Utah, but with other religions where they were built around the religion itself,
Mhm.
because the United States being founded on freedom of religion, it's kind of taught everything. So
Okay. No,
So
I
people argue that removing the clergy privilege would stop people from going to church, and it would interfere with the church, is what they
no.
say.
I don't feel like that's any of our problem, really.
I know, right?
If
Right?
you
But
feel
that's the
compelled to
argument.
go to
Right.
church, then go to church. But if you're such a big piece of crap that you're doing this to children or hurting somebody in any capacity to where you're afraid of, being caught for it, I mean, that sounds like a personal problem at that
Right.
point, you know?
If
You
you
would
lose
Well-
members because you're holding predators, anyways.
It's like, God
No.
forbid you lose the people that you should be losing anyway.
Right.
I
I
understand
wish
that
it was
church
just a
supposed to be
Mormon
true.
problem, but it's not either.
No,
This
it's
is like
Oh, no.
Mm-mm.
this is a
No.
universal problem right here
Well,
with,
if you-
like, I
Yeah.
think almost every church out there, except for
Right.
the
Mhm.
small ones who, were formed to actually protect kids.
and be different, like they didn't identify anywhere else, so they made their own
Right.
essentially. But like, it's still, it's
Well, I just don't. My mind just can't even wrap around the fact that clergy in Utah are not mandated reporters, because
Are
I've
there
always,
anywhere?
yeah,
They're
they are,
not.
but
And
not in Utah. Not in
No,
Utah.
I'm
and
saying
right
anywhere.
now, bishops are considered untrained volunteers. And these people are making life and death decisions, right? Like when a little girl comes into your office and tells you she's being abused, that's an emergency. You should call
Mhm.
911 and
Yeah.
not the
Mhm.
hotline, right?
No,
So
I totally agree.
we need to train these people, because a lot of the times, the bishop will just be sitting there unknowingly and they just get dumped with this stuff they don't know what to do with because they're not trained.
right.
Well, call 911.
Mhm.
Um,
In
So
the
I did
end,
not.
go ahead.
Sorry, Stephanie, if you
No.
want to.
No,
I was just gonna. Sorry, I was just gonna say I did not know that state presidents and bishops are unpaid. I had no
Mhm.
idea. They're all volunteer.
Well, they're called to it essentially. They have somebody above them that are higher up in the church that are men of God that call other men of God to be these people. They don't
They're
even
voluntold.
they pray about it and they're like, this person feels like they should be the bishop in my heart, so I'm going to call them to be the bishop. They don't even know who that person is behind closed doors. No, it's kind of what been like a personal issue of mine, and as I've left the church, is that it doesn't make sense. Who's to say any of these men are men of God when it's just some man out there praying about it, thinking that they got an answer from him saying that, yep, that person's supposed to be a bishop. Yep, that person's supposed to be in charge of the primary. Yep, that person's supposed to be primary is the little children, 12 and under in the Mormon church, LDS
3
church.
to 12 is primary.
Thank you. I grew up in the church when it was called the Mormons, and I left before they transitioned to the LDS. So for me, it's hard to go LDS, but I know that's people get hung up on that. So
just wait till this next point that I want to ban so bad. The one-on-one closed door interviews.
That was so disturbing. I
What
was
is
a 12-year-old girl, and my bishop was asking me if I touched myself, and I didn't even know what that was when I was 12.
What?
So the bishop conducts what are called worthiness interviews, and they start actually at 8 years old before baptism.
Yeah.
So the bishop takes the young child alone in their office and he asks them all sorts of questions, including, do you masturbate?
No.
I didn't even know what that word meant. I was like still a little kid.
And then from 12 to, well, gosh, forever.
Yeah.
You have to do worthiness interviews to keep your temple recommend.
I was 15 being asked if I followed the law of
Will
chastity.
you tell them about yours? About
Please.
your interview, worthiness interview?
So this is when I was an adult. Even I was like, when I was 15, it was just face to face, me and my bishop, and it was something that my parents, my bishop never was inappropriate with me other than the questions he had to ask, but he asked everyone in the youth that. But at 15 years old, I was being asked if I followed the law of chastity, which is, are you having sex before marriage? And for a grown man to be asking a 15-year-old girl that, there's just no situation where that's appropriate.
No.
Without my
None.
parent present. Like my mom should have been there, and that should be for every child. Every child should
even
be
with your parent present.
It's weird.
still not
It's
appropriate.
weird.
Yeah.
It's right. But in order to go into their temples to do baptisms for the dead or anything else, you have to be worthy. In order to know if you're worthy, the bishop has to ask you these questions.
Yeah.
That's another thing I kind of want to talk about a little bit.
I'm really angry now. I'm really angry now.
Every single Amber, every single child goes through this. Every 8-year-old who wants to be baptized in the church. Every
and then they tell you
12-year-old
it's your choice that you're being
wants-
baptized, but if you don't, like, it's not your choice. You just you do what you do what you're conditioned to do.
Yeah, this isn't a once in a while thing. This is every single child.
And not many people see it as weird because we're all just conditioned to do it. We don't ask questions. I was told so many times that you don't ask questions.
You don't question the brethren. So actually, one of my local heroes, Sam Young, he's the one I told you that I marched to the Capitol with. But this is the reason why he was excommunicated from the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, is because he lobbied to ban one-on-one closed door meetings with children. He did not want to ask them sexually explicit questions, and they excommunicated him for trying to improve the church.
I can't. Okay, so I've been in children's ministry for a long time. I cannot even fathom myself sitting across from an 8-year-old kid and asking them those questions.
Yeah.
I
Do you
just
obey the law of chastity? Do you
It's
touch
normal
yourself?
in this
And
religion.
some of them ask these really horrible questions because they are pedophiles hiding
Yep.
in the church.
That's where you just never know either. Are you asking because that's your job, or are you asking because it does something for you?
So basically, they're just facilitating abuse.
They breed it.
Completely.
They breed it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
then-
I'd like to bring up, do you remember Wade Christofferson that we've been talking about for this past
Yeah, I
week?
was going to bring him up. Yeah, I've been watching the videos you sent me, and I watched a couple on my own as well. And can you tell us who Wade Christofferson is?
So, in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, there are three people on top. There is the prophet, which is
The one and the
Oaks
president,
now.
essentially.
Yeah,
Oh
the
yeah.
president.
You were looking for a name. I'm
And
like
then,
the top
yeah,
guy.
I was looking for his name. I forgot his name. I'm like, oh God, who did the stuff at BYU? It was Oaks. He's I have my opinions about him I'll share later.
Mhm.
So then underneath the prophet of the church, there are two people, the first and second president. Todd Christofferson is the second counselor to the president. So he's directly under the prophet president of the church.
Okay.
His brother is a known pedophile and has been a known pedophile for over 30 years. And it's all coming to the news right now. It's coming to a head, but it actually shows in these stories and news reports that not only did they excommunicate Wade Christofferson, Christofferson's brother,
Mhm.
but they rebaptized him a year later, and then they removed the annotation warning people that he was a sex offender. The
Okay.
only way that can be done is through the first presidency. So his brother had to have known and had to have a hand in it.
Right.
Mhm.
That's the only thing that makes sense. Like he covered up his
Mhm.
brother's tracks. I'll take care of you, brother. That's what
Yeah,
that feels like to
exactly.
me.
Yeah, and for those of you that don't know, Wade Christofferson was arrested by the FBI, correct? It was the FBI, yeah.
In Salt Lake City
And
on December 3rd of this
yeah,
year, like this week,
Mhm.
like this past
Just
little
a couple
bit,
days ago. Yeah.
December 3rd. Yeah, because
Exactly a year
he
ago.
Excuse me.
was on FaceTime with someone who is most likely a family member.
A
I believe it
7-year-old.
was a 7-year-old girl,
Oh,
and
God.
he asked to see well, he used co-words, but he asked to
Mhm.
see her body, her
Well,
unclothed body.
here's the thing that was even more disturbing to me is that he had already touched her, but
Mhm.
he was writing letters, Aura. He was
Oh
writing
my God,
letters
these
to this
letters.
child, teaching her code so that when they got on the phone or got together or whatever or were around people, they could use his code.
A
A
7-year-old.
7-year-old. He was writing
So
these
she would know
letters.
to run to a bathroom or a closet so she could undress herself to show herself to this family member that she trusted.
And he lived in Ohio and she
Mhm.
lived in Utah. He somehow made his way back to Utah and got arrested in Utah in Salt Lake City. But when they looked at his search results on Google and stuff like that, he was, I guess, the point that the show that I was watching earlier, they were talking about how he had confessed to a dad in Ohio, which was the brother of the dad in Utah. And
Wood chipper.
yeah, exactly.
One place
And-
only to these people.
Yeah, and
This
he
is
said
the
that
type
he
of
was
things that created my vigilante sister.
Yeah.
and so and then he
Mhm.
I can't even he I'm so frustrated and so upset at the moment right now.
I know it's
It's
so
so
hard to
hard
talk
to-
about it.
It really is. It's infuriating because
Yeah.
there's thousands of people that follow, and that's I don't even want to like speak about them in a way that's bad. It's just they don't. It's like by their support, they allow it to happen, and it's like so high up. And there is a lot of founders of the LDS Church that were pedophiles, and it dates back to the beginning of the church, and that is just something that they call it anti. Mormon literature. They call it literature of Satan. Like you can't listen
We're
to that stuff because
finding-
it's Satan. But
Yeah,
it's
we're
like the truth
finding
of
that there's
the origins.
we're finding that there's early Mormon literature that actually talk about the blood atonement, and it talks about baptism by fire, which is like it's a sacrificial thing where you kill someone and then you burn their body, and it's
Please
supposed to
send that
take
to
away
me.
their sins.
So
And,
is this what Chad Daybell was doing with Tylee Ryan?
Yeah. So I believe
Oh,
that, and that's
shit.
what I was talking with Krish about. because and I think that there's also another maybe early Mormon ritual that talked about binding and death. I don't know, but I believe that both were ritualistically killed,
Yeah.
because we're
It's
finding other cases
mhm.
actually of people who are still alive who remember this. So it's
Really?
not just hearsay. It's not just hearsay. Like my husband has a friend that he's known forever who has memories of ritualistic abuse.
There's
Really?
people our age. I was born in the
Mm.
80s. There's people my age that experienced ritual abuse, like I talked about on the last episode with you guys.
Yeah.
I've been to rallies where victims told their stories, and it's happening in, there's I don't know if I want to name the city, but there's a mayor here in Utah that he is
We should
known
name
for
the city.
it's Sandy City. The mayor of
Mhm.
Sandy City is known to be a he does ritual
Mhm.
sex abuse on victims, and they are alive and they're telling their stories, and it's happening right now. It's in the
Mm.
government here,
He
it's in the church here, and those two they were created at the exact same time by the exact same people. They are together. They're this it's the same. And not, I mean, just as an example, a few years ago, Prop 2 passed in Utah, which was medical marijuana, and it
Mhm.
passed. The people voted for it. It passed.
Really?
The church came in and said the only way we will allow you to have Prop 2 is if you make this change, this change, this change, this change, this change. They completely dismantled Prop 2, and then it was allowed to be passed. The church was able to stop the people's vote and said, we won't allow medical marijuana in the state of Utah unless it's by our terms. They have the power to do that.
I mean, that is something that's crazy that's been happening a lot of places the last couple of years. I mean, it's a little bit different, but the people of Missouri voted an abortion last year, and now they're trying to penalize people by charging them with murder. So
That's ridiculous. Here, I have to say this really quick. It's
Yeah.
not
Mhm.
graphic,
No, go ahead.
but people need to understand that abortion is healthcare. Okay. Abortion is classified the same whether you miscarry and your body
Mhm.
doesn't dispel of that baby. And if you electively have an abortion, those are categorized the same exact way. Those are
Yeah, that's
exactly the
terrible.
same medical procedure. So if we remove people's right to choose abortions, which personally, I think people have a right to choose. If you really don't want a kid, you shouldn't be forced to bring one into the world. Like everyone's going to be better off anyway, right? So I need people to understand that it's healthcare. It is not deciding at the 8 month that you don't want to be a mom anymore, that it's just too much. Because that's not what happens.
Mhm.
a lot of
So
people
that's
really
my
want to have
spiel.
those children, and they can't for one reason or another, and
Mhm.
then it's their fault when they're going through an absolute tragedy. And that's what's happening in my state, and I know it's what's happening in a lot of other states. Happened in Alabama and Texas and Lord knows where else. So
And I'll just be honest, I don't agree with abortion, but I also don't agree with the fact that a miscarriage and an abortion are classified as the
people
same
are
thing.
going to
You wouldn't
jail
have
for the
one
way that
yourself,
they're
right?
No,
But would you stop a complete stranger who didn't want to be a mother
no,
by
I would
any
not.
means
That's where I
No.
stand too. It's like
Mhm.
that's what I
I
mean.
know. Yeah.
Exactly. So we're on
Yeah.
the same stance.
100%.
I could never
100%.
do it myself.
Mhm.
That's something that I personally wouldn't do. It's
Right.
not something that I would suggest to other people just
It's not my
willy-nilly.
place
But
to
there
tell
are
someone else's life.
situations where it's the right decision.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
And there shouldn't be laws to be put in place for
Mhm.
right. In the end,
Healthcare.
it's everyone's
It's healthcare.
right.
Mhm.
And aside from the healthcare of it all, it's just really also scary that we live in a I hate to say the phrase we live in a society, but we live in a society where people can take away your vote. You can literally vote something in one way or another, no matter what
Mhm.
it is.
That's
In your
exactly what
state.
Utah saw.
Local
Yeah.
government can just decide, hey, I
Yeah.
disagree. In order for you
Yeah.
to get the medical marijuana, you have to do this and this for us. You know,
Yeah.
Well, we need to start standing up, and we need to
Right.
start.
Our
We have so
governor
many
is the active
issues.
Mormon.
That's the
Also,
problem. Is a lot of the people in the
yeah.
power in that's like not even that they're hand in hand is that's their religion of choice as well. So they and the thing about the LDS Church is growing up, I was taught it's like other religions just go to church on Sunday, but us Mormons, we are dedicated every day. It's our entire life is being Mormon, and that was
It
how I
really
grew up.
is.
It was
You go to church on Sunday.
for 3 hours.
Right? You wake up every morning and you have scripture study with your family and family prayer. And then Monday evenings is family home evening where you have more scripture study. You sing as a family and you learn lessons that are taught in the church. Like the lesson that we all chose all of our trials and tribulations before we came to this earth.
See, I've never even heard.
Do not believe in
that in my life.
predestination. Oh gosh.
Me either.
You've heard that, right, Stephanie?
Yeah, I've heard.
You
yeah,
heard that in
yeah,
in the spirit realm.
the pre-existence. Yeah,
Yeah,
Mhm.
we all chose our family.
Yeah, no.
There's even a movie about it. It's called Saturday Warriors. If you want to get dorky
honestly,
with
when
it.
I was little, I loved that movie. But I was little, you know, like, but it was a movie I loved.
Mommy, don't go.
No, I knew the very basics, I think, of like how Mormonism started, you know, because I've taken classes and stuff like that on different religions and all that. But I guess I just did not realize that Utah was, you know, basically Mormon, you know.
Really?
I mean,
It's Mormon
You
rant.
didn't
Yeah.
realize
I
that
didn't-
Utah
Yeah.
was the more.
so I realized
There's
Or how
Mormon
bad it
door.
was. How
I
much
didn't realize how bad it was. That's
Yeah.
what I'm trying
Yeah.
to say. Like
Oh,
I knew
the
that Utah
reality
was
of
the
it.
Mormon state and
Mhm.
Idaho and you know
Right.
those areas, but I did not realize the reality of your
Right.
situation. I thought
Yeah,
it was just
it's,
another church, another religion.
They have a lot of
Um,
power here,
I
and not to
didn't
mention the
realize-
amount of real estate they own. They own
You
most
didn't
of the
realize.
state.
Yeah, you didn't realize that they were worth. Oh, I was corrected. It's not 244 billion that they're worth anymore. It's over 312 billion.
I saw that, and
That's insane.
and one
When
of
you
the
follow the
one of-
paper trail, it's dark. It's gross.
It's
And one
like
of the
there's
articles-
87 pages of NASDAQ companies that they invest in.
oh, I believe
So
it. Yeah,
312 billion dollars, right?
Not to be the idiot
And-
woman, but what's NASDAQ?
The
stocks.
church says
Oh.
they can't afford to do background checks on everyone.
Well,
They've
see, and that's
actually
the
come
thing.
out and said that.
When
$312
they do
billion.
background checks, and background checks don't even, for the record, like people cannot get caught for shit,
Right?
or
Yeah.
never do something before and change their
This
mind.
means you're
There's
not
really-
already registered.
Yeah.
Like,
But it's like in the bare minimum, you can't check the people that are already convicted of stuff. I mean, oh my goodness.
no. The church has come out and
Bare
said that
minimum.
they can't do that.
I mean, shoot, Google is free. You can find out a lot of stuff just by Googling somebody. I mean, it might not be
Right?
as free in every state, you know, but like Missouri, we have CaseNet. I look up almost everybody in my life.
Cherokee girl said the Mormons kept coming to her door, and then she screamed, "I'm a Satanist," and they never came back. Next time, all you have to say is, "I fully believe in same-sex marriage. I fully believe in equality," and they will turn tail and run. Especially if they think that you're same-sex attracted, they'll never come back, and they can't come and baptize your kids either.
Like, hey, you're actually looking kind of cute over there.
You know, and
On your little bike.
so you're talking about how much they have, and they say that they can't afford to do background checks. They don't pay their preachers or their lay people. What are they doing with all this money? Just hoarding it?
Buying real
Yeah.
estate, building temples, building churches, and benefiting
Oh,
themselves.
please talk about the real estate, because you know more about the real estate than I do.
So I don't
Oh,
even know
oh.
that much, other than they just like they own like City Creek, which is like a mall down in Salt Lake. They own all of City Creek Mall plus like the entire like block that the temple's on. They own, but not that's just like one part. But they own a lot of real estate around the entire world. They are huge in real estate.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's all I can pretty much tell you.
No,
Let me
I
know
mean,
how much land does the Mormon Church own?
well, no, if you think about it,
Ooh,
are
are you good?
Yeah, I don't know why I started bleeding. My legs
I'm
started
gonna go
bleeding.
see if I can find.
No, it's all right.
Okay.
don't know what happened.
You're like,
I think I hit my leg or something.
Oh.
But no, I mean,
You want to see what just came up?
yeah.
What came up?
Okay. According to real estate retail, okay, now this does not count with the billions that they have in investments. This is totally separate, okay? Please keep
Okay.
that under yeah. So it says according to the same research, the US real estate portfolio of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints minimum estimated market value of 15.7 billion.
Wow.
They own farm and ranches. A recent article, the church, uh, they said that they own approximately 1.7 million acres of U.S. agricultural land.
They own Skinwalker Ranch too, don't they?
dude,
Yeah, but they do.
Well, Brandon Fugel owns that.
Yeah, but I mean, he's Mormon, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, it's the Fugel family. I believe is very.
As
Yeah.
of late 2024, the church acquired an additional farmland, 46 farms across 8 states, totaling 41,504 acres. And that's a
Wow.
$289 million deal.
Wow.
And
Wow.
they own
At
at
least they have all
least
that
370 acres in Nebraska under a church-owned subsidiary. Did I say that right? Subsidiary? Um,
Subsidiary.
Thank you.
Words.
Subsidiary. Okay. Like I said, it's not something I've researched. At least I didn't say something worse.
You're fine. Don't even stress.
So they say that it's hard to know like how much land they actually own, but they also own 2.3 million acres in top private land for home ownerships too.
They own Coke?
They own
No.
Coke. They
They
own
do?
Budweiser.
really? Oh my God, there's both.
Which is funny because they
They own
LDS aren't allowed
right.
to drink.
We can't drink. It's against
Not
the
allowed
word of
to drink.
wisdom.
If you drink, you don't go to the temple.
Sorry. Hold on.
You're
We
good.
have Coke and Budweiser in our town.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Crazy, right?
Wow, that's
Batshit crazy. Budweiser when you can't drink. Why? Oh, that's crazy.
Can't drink any alcohol.
Yeah, you're not supposed to drink any alcohol at all.
And
Otherwise,
Jack Mormon.
you
Jack
can't
Mormon.
get your yeah.
Somebody said
And
Jack Mormon up
another
there. I'm like, that's
thing-
what I was called that many times in my life.
they invest in things they're against. Yes.
That's
Yes, Jasmine.
because money talks. So and they can control their people if they tell them, if you drink, you're going to hell. If you drink, you're not going to be in the celestial kingdom with your family.
That's fascinating, but
Right.
Make
they
money off of it.
but they don't mind poisoning the rest of the world, right?
Right,
No.
right.
No, because they're better than everyone else. Duh.
These are the things that I wish that like we could bring awareness to, where people could start questioning where they spend their Sundays, because in the end, when you could step outside of it, the church is a business and they do bad things. And I have a cousin of mine who is studying criminal justice, and she left the church. She left Utah. She's gone. She doesn't even talk to our family anymore. And in that, she has worked with the FBI, and she said the FBI, they have cases on many quorum of the 70, which is underneath the prophet and the first presidency. Then you have the quorum of the 70, which is just basically 70 old men that run the church. And in that, like, they have cases on the first presidency and the quorum of the 70 where they are known child predators.
So basically what I feel like is the Mormons kind of took a page out of the Catholic Church.
Yeah, I would think.
But
Yeah,
it's a little worse.
it's different, I think.
Different, but
they have the internal hotline for the Mormons, and that is another thing that we need to ban.
They're like
is
an own
that
community.
hotline.
They take care of their own. They're in their own bubble, and they take care of their bubble, and that is just the truth of it.
Yeah, like I said before, if someone comes to the bishop, whether it's a parent or it's a child, saying either I'm abusing this person or I'm being abused, the bishop is instructed to call the church hotline. Okay. And what they do is they advise like it's a lawyer's.
Mhm.
So it's Kirkton and McConkey is where that hotline goes to. So then the attorneys look up the laws and how to avoid reporting. So
They find the loophole.
they find that loophole.
The church has loopholes just like Utah.
Mm-hmm. So and like I showed you a video, and I know Laura doesn't want to play it, and I understand the reason why. I totally get that. I
What?
totally get it.
Oh,
The soft white underbelly video.
no,
It's the
that's
Mormon
okay.
bishop.
no.
That's
It's the
okay.
Mormon bishop. It's the only interview I've seen him do
Hold
where
on, let
he
me
is
find it real
that
quick.
direct.
I didn't mean that in a judgy way. Just to anyone who doesn't know, there's a lot of not great things
Yeah,
this
soft
person
white
does.
exploits people.
Exploits people,
Mhm.
has put underage people where you can see their
Yeah, he hasn't done anything to interfere with the child prostitution that he sees.
So, and has even almost borderline advertised where they can be found. Okay.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna put this up. Also, that reminds me, while you're putting something up, well, never mind. That's fine.
This video is a guy. He was actually a bishop, and this is his experience.
I've seen him talk about something a little bit, I think, on TikTok somewhere.
As I started traveling the world, I'm like, oh, there are really happy, content people in this world that have never even heard of Mormonism. What's up with that?
Mm-hmm.
And one of the most striking was 2 years ago, I got to go to Nepal.
Oh, wait. I don't think
Is this the right video?
No.
I don't think this is the
Mormon
right video.
stories.
I mean, he's not wrong there, though.
Nepal
You're
is-
taught that you can't be happy unless you're Mormon, and that people that are not LDS aren't really happy. They just appear to be happy. You can only be happy if you're LDS. That's literally what I was taught.
You can only be happy in exact obedience.
Is it not that guy?
Right.
It's that guy, but that's
Yeah, it's that guy.
Oh.
I'm just trying to find a shorter one.
Where's
Yeah.
the short? I know.
I know it's on
I'll
TikTok.
see if I can find it on TikTok.
I think I even have it in messages from.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it looks like Audrey's life. Okay, let's see.
Okay, hold on. I know you sent it to me. Let me find it.
I think it's
Okay.
just a little bit more
I'm gonna
valid
send it to you
hearing
real
it
quick.
from an old bishop.
I'm sending it to you right now.
Okay.
I think this is what it is.
Okay. Hold on. Let me take this off.
Okay.
Trust me enough to say, Bishop, I molested my kid. And I'm like, talk to me about it. What happened? What is happening? Get it out. Just get it all out now. Like, you've already uncorked it. Just get it all out. And so for about 10, 15 minutes, he talked to me about all these times that he's molested his kid from 6 months old. You know, I'm trying not to cry. Like, I know this family. And so I open up the handbook, which is like the church instruction. You know, what do you do in these different scenarios? And you go under abuse, and it says, call this abuse hotline. I'm like, great, good. Like, there's going to be a therapist on the other side to help me understand what I should do here. Well, when you call that number, it goes to the church's law firm, Curtin McConkey. And they start to ask you questions like, hey, Bishop, what ward are you in? What stake are you in? What's the situation? I tell them the situation, and they go, oh, okay, you're in California, you're in this county, you're okay. And I'm like, okay to what? And they're like, there's no action. You don't need to take any action. Like, you're okay. Just let the brother repent, and you're you know, let him go through the process. And I hang up the phone with Curtin McConkey, which is the abuse line to protect kids, right? Like, protect the abused. And it wasn't that at all. It was to protect the church. It was look up the legality of where you are and how can we protect the church. Not one single question around, is the child okay? Is the child still in the house with the abuser? None of that. Literally didn't matter. All that mattered was, here's where you're at. You're not a mandatory reporter. You don't need to. So I hang up the phone and I turn to this brother and I say, I'll give you 10 minutes. Either you call CPS or I call CPS. And he said, can I call my wife? And I said, of course you can, but you don't leave. Stay right here. So he calls his wife, hangs up, and he said, I'll call CPS. I said, I need you to do it right now. And so he did. He called Child Protective Services on himself. And that for me was a huge eye opener, that the church was there to protect the institution, but not the individual. He decides that he trusts me enough to.
That
A call
is,
to 911 is appropriate.
yeah.
That is 100% what you should do every time a parent confesses to hurting their child or any child, not even their own.
Because it is a fucking emergency.
It
If
is.
there ever was an emergency, that what that was confessed to the bishop is an emergency.
Yeah.
Like the hotline should have told him to hang up and dial 911.
Make that
But they
sure
should
that
have told
child
him.
is safe forever. Like that is your next
Every
job.
single time. Every single time. Like, don't leave it to the bishop to determine if it's really abuse or how bad the abuse is and if it warrants prosecuting. Leave that up to the state,
Right.
because that's how we get rid of these
That's how
child predators.
So
It's
has
not
anybody
through-
ever tried to sue the church?
They have
or the
so
state?
much money
Yes,
and resources.
yes.
They can
Okay.
bankrupt anyone.
Mhm.
So I was just going through this. I was about a year into the process, and I thought I was going to actually be able to sue the church because they were paying on claims that were out of the statute of limitations. However, with the new prophet, they're no longer paying any expired claims out. So I would have had to have sued the church by the time I was 21. And I would have had to have known how fucked up it was going to be, how it was going to affect me for the rest of my life.
You're still a
Mhm.
kid
It's
at
going to
21.
affect my
still.
daughter, right? Like, I didn't know how it was going to
Absolutely.
affect my children and my grandchildren, but now I do,
Yeah.
you know?
Mhm.
But I'm not eligible anymore to sue, I guess, because of statute of limitations.
See, statute of limitations, that shouldn't even be a thing. I
Not when
don't-
it comes
know.
to these kinds of crimes.
No.
Like, I don't
no.
even know it's a crime that you could say that it does. Like, I don't know. I don't
Right?
know. I don't know what
Drug-
crime it should fit
Right?
for. But
Yeah.
A
not
drug
anything like
problem.
that.
A
is
drug-
about it.
drug-
A drug
Yeah.
or something that doesn't hurt other people.
Stealing.
Right.
something like
Victimless
that.
crimes. Yeah.
Well, just stealing, drugs,
Right.
whatever. You know, little
Right.
little stuff
Low-level
compared
petty
to
crime.
children.
Sex abuse and murder should be things that are automatically always
Yeah.
not statute.
It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, I
Right.
didn't even
Prove
remember
it.
I was abused by one of my family members' boyfriends when I was 6 until I was 34, 35,
Um,
36.
so-
I don't know how old I was, but I didn't even remember till my mid 30s. So how is
Oh,
that?
wow.
Jamie, so some of the statute of limitations did open up. However, they opened it up so you can go back and prosecute in certain cases. It doesn't allow you to have any rights. It doesn't allow you to collect victims' funds for therapy. It doesn't do anything.
I encourage all of you Mormons that have been hurt to collectively get together and
Do what you can.
make some noise.
They
Go to Morgan
won't
and Morgan,
change.
somebody.
They're not going to make a change until there is a financial reason to. Until they touch that drop of the $312 billion they have in their investment portfolios, until they're not getting tithing anymore, they're not going to change.
Well, there's certain things that they have been changing over the years, to not even be devil's advocate here, but just to show there were things that like I grew up with, like the dress code is super strict. That's never going to change. Things about the church will never change. These are the rules. They'll never change. This is just how it is, how it's always been and how it always will be. Well, here we are, 2025, and I am watching like my little baby cousins wearing clothes that like I was judged so harshly for. Like their standards are going down because they're losing members. A few years ago, they came out and said, if you're gay or your kids are gay, you have to denounce them, or you either choose them or the church, essentially. And then they lost a lot of members over that. And so they went back and then they said, never mind, that's not what we're going to do anymore. It's not that serious. Like they flip-flop if they lose members, but that's when they lose money. So it comes down to, I believe, the people of the church need to wake up to what's happening on a larger scale. It's hard for them to believe that something that they believe to be true and so perfect could be just the opposite. It takes a lot of courage for them to admit that they haven't been told the truth when they believe they have been. It takes a lot. So these members are going to have to understand that not everybody that is above them in the church are good people, and they're not doing good things. Like, they have to wake up to it, and then at that point demand the change from their own leaders. We have to get these. It's like in the church as well as on the state level. Utah is run by pedophiles on the state level as well. And in that, we, the people of Utah, need to stand up and demand that these people, one, leave office. They got to get out. We cannot hold any space for pedophiles at all. They have a lot of power, so it's not that easy. But it takes every mother and every father and every aunt and every uncle and everyone to stand up together to say enough is enough. Get the hell out of my capital, because at this point you're not representing me or my children anymore, because you're evil. So it comes down to we have to call them out on it and not cover it up anymore, because we don't want to believe it's true. We don't want to believe they're capable of it. We have to admit that they are, and they're doing it. It's real, and the change comes from us calling them out by name.
And there is precedent for
civil.
this.
Oh,
there is precedent.
Sorry.
For this. Sorry, I was just going to say there is.
Go ahead.
Because Missouri took action against the Mormons and said, no, it's not going to
happen.
That's why
we're here. That's why the Mormons came to Utah. Missouri, it was legal to kill a Mormon. And
so it can happen. So it can happen.
Illegal to kill.
So it can happen.
Is it illegal to kill? It
was
back in the day. It was legal to kill a Mormon
extermination
in Missouri.
order.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's insane. I did not know about that. They think their promised land is in Missouri.
Eden.
Yeah, the Garden of Eden. Adam on Diamond.
But then they found Zion in Utah, so it's all right.
So there is
we have
precedent.
to create. Yeah, and we have to create civil penalties, for churches who fail to report, like the Mormon Church does. So we need actual consequences for hiding this bullshit.
Right. Like put posters up with faces and names, shame them, put the sign on their necks saying what they've done, and make them walk out in public with it. Like that's the level that I'm thinking. Like
it may sound it may sound horrible, but I want the bishop who bailed out my attacker to know what he allowed to happen over the next 12 years.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I want him to know.
No kidding.
No, he needs to know. These people.
Like I wish I remembered his name so I could look him up and tell him to his face.
Partially responsible.
He is. He is partially responsible.
I feel the same way about the leaders of Utah. They are just as responsible for every victim child that Jonathan created than Jonathan is himself. Jonathan was a known child repeat offender who tried to hurt my son, and before he ended up on my doorstep, the state had seen him in their courtroom again and again and again, and they just said, "Oh, sorry, we can't do anything to help you. You're incompetent and unrestorable. Go back out into the public. It's fine if you keep making victims." Like, those people need to be held responsible. His doctors that defend him need to be held responsible. Everybody, like everyone that had anything to do with him in his treatment is responsible on some level for him being on my doorstep that night and for every child he hurt.
The state moved him around just like the church moves around predators. The state
nobody
did
knew.
Exactly 100% what the church does.
Yeah.
Because how many group homes had he been in before the one in your neighborhood?
I don't even know. But I know that after he was moved from the home that he lived across from me, they moved him to a different home, and it was grandparents who had grandchildren living in the home. That was after my case.
Wow.
The state is so messed up. I want to go and I just want to scream. I just want to scream at them all. Like, I want to, I want you to answer my questions on why you are this way. Answer it for me. I can't handle it anymore. Like, I'm so angry because my child's not the only one that was almost affected by this. Like, I want to say almost because he wasn't physically assaulted.
There's 9 children that we know of that the news has reported on. That this man that tried to assault Stephanie's kids has assaulted already.
That you know of, which
that we know
he
was living in homes with children. Yeah, that's why I've made TikTok videos calling out parents. If you're a victim of Jonathan, please call me, because I need you to stand with me, because my story's not strong enough. And that's what it's come down. I've been told essentially that because he didn't physically assault my son, that I need other victims to come forward.
Because your son saved himself.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Like,
it's
my son
still an attempted burglary.
Right. And we know it was so much more than that. Like, he was there to he had the opportunity and means to do
Mhm.
whatever he wanted.
Mm-hmm.
And luckily my son was smart and pushed his little 7-year-old body against the door and locked it. Like, that is what saved him from whatever else may have been in store that night.
I feel like an easy way to hopefully like kind of circumvent it is to have transparent public reporting of all of them.
Right.
So if you're a pedophile, you should be prepared to, be seen on the 6 a.m. news, the 6 p.m. news, the 10 p.m. news.
No,
Or
I
at the
think
very
that's
least, like, hey, for someone like Jonathan, he's in programs.
Mhm.
The Department of People with Disabilities is a state-run, state-funded, taxed program. It's a tax program. Like, our tax dollars pay for it. And they didn't report to anybody that he was a known child offender. They moved him into a home across from me. And if, at the very least, they should have gone door to door to door and said, hey, this man's a patient of ours. He's gotten permission to live here, which they did not get permission from the leasing office. And I know that because my husband and myself were employees of this company that we lived at. So we knew that they never went through the proper channels to get Jonathan to live there. DSP. So at the very least, they should have gone to the leasing office, talked to the manager, said Jonathan's a person with disabilities. He's been known to hurt children. He's never been convicted, but like, can he move in? Of course, they're going to say no.
Mm-hmm.
So they just didn't say anything and they just let it happen. So it's like, those programs should be required to go door to door and let everyone know, hey, there's a person living there that is known to hurt children. Just because he's not registered doesn't mean we don't deserve to know that we have to be extra careful of our children. It's like one thing, children should go play. And of course, I know danger's there. And I'm not just like, woo, like, I don't need to protect you guys. But like, there should be a level of safety where kids can be kids. And if we know there's a predator living next door, just like sex offenders have to register. Okay, well, I know every red dot around me. So when I say that, like, I know, like, at the very least, there should be something in place to protect people.
Mm-hmm. And Amy,
I was
you
going to
ask if
answer
he's-
Amy's question.
Oh, sorry, I didn't see it.
Yes.
Very
So
much
here's
so.
the thing with Jonathan, is Jonathan can hold down a full-time job in the mall, and Jonathan can do encrypted stuff on like end-to-end encryption
on the
He knows
dark
how to
web.
access the dark web for child
Yeah, he knows how to
pornography.
access the dark web. So they haven't told us what his IQ is.
Actually, they told us in court.
Oh, they did?
Mike, are you in here still? Sorry, my husband's around the corner.
Mhm.
I don't think he's in here. I want to say it was like 49. Honestly, I can't remember, but I want to say it was
Really?
about 49.
49?
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Wow.
So, I mean, that is intellectually disabled.
He
but
is disabled. He is, but he
I
is
mean, not
smart
to
at the
say
same
that-
time.
Should
Like,
not
to
give
say-
him a pass.
No,
it doesn't.
not at all.
No, not to
And
me.
it sucks.
Yes, Amy, he's being protected because he's been found incompetent
And
through
unrestorable.
every single time the state has tried to prosecute him. And so Stephanie actually brought him to federal prosecutors and is demanding that they look towards prosecuting him because he is smart enough to figure out all this stuff.
The federal government has him in custody right now because the state of Utah was going to release him on our case because voyeurism was our charges. And in that, they found him incompetent and unrestorable. They released him to the public. The feds were sitting in the courtroom and turned around and arrested him right then and there. So he never saw the light of day. So unfortunately, though, after my last podcast with you guys, the next day I found out, and I'm so angry about it, and I'm still trying to process it. But our federal prosecutor, who I told you in our a little bit before the last show, is I fully believe he wants Jonathan gone forever, and he has done everything in his power to keep Jonathan locked up. However, he's moved to a different firm last week.
Yeah, both Stephanie and I think that he is faking on his tests. So
Jonathan's
acting
100%
like-
faking. He's malingering.
Mhm.
That was brought up in court too, but they said we don't think he's
So he's
malingering. It's like
purposely
that's exactly
failing.
what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot maintain a full-time job with an IQ of 42.
Well, and then
Come on.
the undercover officer who was watching him to like evaluate how incompetent is he that he has a job. They left him alone at the kiosk, like his boss. He knew how to make change. He could count change. Like he knew how to do things that they want to say in court that he's incapable of doing. But it's like there's so much proof to show that Oh, he had his license. He had a driver's license. He could like
Mhm.
he's not like that's what I mean. There's certain things where it's like if you're saying he's as dumb as you say he is, then
Why
he
does he have a
should not
driver's
be able
license?
to even speak. Like right? Like,
No, a 42.
I think they said 49, but maybe
49.
49. That's
I
still
want.
really low.
I'm
That's
gonna
really
text
low.
my husband right now and even ask him if it was that low. Like it. I mean, like he is disabled. There's no doubt about it. But he's
But
not.
that does not
he-
excuse
the
him
federal-
being allowed in public.
Well, the federal government, they evaluated him like triple the time that the state did, and the federal government did find him competent. They found him competent with accommodations, so they might have to take like more recess breaks during court. They're like basically the attorney was saying, well, what if he doesn't understand? And the judge was saying, well, or basically it's like it's your job to teach your client. Like it's not the court's job to teach your client. That's your job. But the attorney was just saying, like, I don't know how to do that. Like I don't know how to teach him this. And it came down to being, in my opinion, the attorney's problem. Not like the attorney didn't know what the attorney was out of his realm with the defense he was up against. And but they did find him competent and with accommodations, but the judge turned around and still deemed him incompetent.
So for Jamie, if you look on KSL or KUTV2 News, they're going to have several articles about Jonathan. I
You
think
can Google Jonathan Sober Honest,
Fox,
Utah.
Fox also covered him too.
You can even
There'll
Google
be a
me.
lot of stuff that pops. Yeah.
You can Google Stephanie Davis, Lehigh mother, and you will find me, but it'll pull up him, and then from there you can go down the rabbit hole.
This is the same guy that trapped the little boy in the Lehigh bathroom at the community center.
Yep.
And I know everybody heard about it because it was so scary when it happened. And I want to say that was 2016 when that happened.
That happened 6 months
2016 or
before
2017.
That was 2021. That happened
That's
6
crazy.
months, six
Oh my
months
gosh,
before
that
he was on my
sooner.
doorstep.
Huh.
I mentioned
Yeah,
it
see,
last
people
time.
remember that story.
I screenshotted that story when it came up because I live in Lehigh. We were just at that rec center this morning. Like that's the rec center that we took our kids to. So I screenshotted it and I sent it to my husband at the time that it happened and said, this man's local. We got to watch out. Do not let our son go anywhere alone. And then essentially it was like, that was it. And then 6 months later, this is it. He ends up on my doorstep. And it took me about 2 or 3 weeks to find out that they were the same person. But after he was on my doorstep, it took a few weeks to put the pieces together. But he's very dangerous and he's capable of a lot more than his defense wants to say he is.
He's escalated. Extremely escalated.
Every time.
Yeah.
Back in like 2016, 2018, those charges were him at the mall exposing himself in dressing rooms or trying to get into dressing rooms.
Not just exposing himself, but
masturbating. He was masturbating.
Yes. It wasn't just flashing.
Right.
It wasn't just peeping Tom. It was being a peeping Tom and a flasher while he was pleasuring himself.
And then it got to a point where he started to touch other kids. Like he tried to touch kids and that's where the escalation. It's a snowball effect.
This guy has dressed up like Batman to play with neighborhood children before also.
Right.
I would like to point that out.
That was crazy when we didn't even know each other and you told me that. I was dumbfounded because I hadn't heard anything like that yet. That's what I'm saying. Jonathan's victims, please call me, find me. Let's go. Like I need you guys. And I'm sorry that you went through it, but I'll hold your hand and let's fight. Let's go. I need everyone.
Yeah.
No, I think
Amy's
that's
right. He's been given permission to escalate because he knows he's not going to be held responsible. So he keeps escalating every time.
His mom, like when he got arrested, one of the times he was asked, like he's like, it's okay. My mom told me I'll get out soon, and that just to trust in God and I'll be okay. It's like, no, you are exactly where you need to be, and I hope you suffer. Right. I know people who were in the same part of the jail that he was in, and they even it's a sex offender unit. And they said even in the sex offender unit, he was in protective custody. He was away from the other sex offenders. They've protected him even in custody because he's a danger and everyone sees it and everyone's disgusted by it.
His mugshot is scary, isn't it?
He's evil. I mean,
he is evil. I do not care that he's disabled. I'm not an ableist.
Right.
Um,
And I'll give
so
him credit as far what he grew up
I
in is
agree.
hell. And I am no child. I would have fought for him back then if I knew him. You know, like
Mhm.
I would
I
have
Mhm.
don't
fought
know that he grew up in a worse environment than I did, though.
yeah, it was probably similar. There's no excuse for what he's been through, but his mom knew that he
Right.
was being raped. His mom, like, it was, he hurt his mom, like, pedophilia was very normal in their household, and nobody cared. Nobody
Mhm.
protected
Yeah.
any of the children because it was normal.
I
But
can't even
Yeah.
imagine.
right.
Everyone processes things differently and has, different traumas, but I mean, there's no excuse. And I have empathy for those that are intellectually disabled or have had different things happen to them. But at the same time, I mean, when do you draw the line? I mean, on a very different note, maybe we brought this up on the podcast before, but we had a neighbor at one of the last places we lived in that was, I don't know what she had, but she was definitely not all there. And she ended up stabbing her husband
Yeah.
in the house right next to us, and they found her on top of him masturbating.
Oh,
And then
Oh my
she got
gosh.
re-released and went right back and was living there with no restrictions whatsoever.
And there was a child living.
And there was a child living there, and she just lived there after the fact.
they're like, she's
just-
fine. She's obviously not mentally
Yeah.
needing help.
And it's like you don't do anything to her.
Right.
I mean,
You don't make
it's
sure
like
the
I
child's
empathize with
safe.
her. I'm not saying kill her. I'm
Right.
not saying put her,
Of course.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
No, but she
You know,
needs to. These are why we need to bring back the asylums.
You're right.
Mhm.
But
And I
with
say that
restrictions
actually
and
with respect,
regulations.
and I say that with kindness because it's not kind to allow other children to be abused by this predator. And you know what? It's not kind to allow people to die on the streets either. It's just not.
Right.
No.
And that was something that happened to a woman in Provo. She
Mhm.
was victimless crimes, totally victimless crimes, but she was mentally disabled, and this same loophole let her freeze in the streets rather than putting her where she could get the mental help and support she needed because she had no family or friends to rely on. The state of Utah let her die when she didn't deserve that outcome.
She froze to death on the streets,
Yep, she did.
and she
It
didn't
happens
deserve
a
that.
lot.
I agree. I need to take a break real quick, so I'm gonna mute and then turn off my camera. But
Yeah.
I'll be right back. Okay.
So no, I mean, the fact that Utah doesn't have asylums or
no long-term
any-
goal for any of these people.
Yeah.
There are like in American Fork, which is the city just down the road, there are places for people with disabilities to live. There are homes for them, but I do believe that they have to be like put there by their family, or like it's not an asylum. It's not somewhere where they're legally have to put. It's just somewhere for people with disabilities to live if they can't live at home for whatever reason that might be. But for like there should be some, like is it the loophole of no law to have somebody that's incompetent and unrestorable to just be released into the streets. Because I mean, look at the poor woman who was murdered on the train, and all these things were like, it's a country issue and it's a Utah issue. It's like we need to hold people accountable and have places to go. We need to get the crap people out of government and crap people out of the religion. It's on a worldwide level.
Unfortunately, it seems like the crap people are the ones who want to lead everything and rule everything.
And they have been for centuries. It's funny you talk about the alien. I'm on that ship. Aliens, I'm with you. But like all of it, like knowing just we are run by elitist pedophiles in a worldwide order. It is just how it is, and it's going to take us people standing up to say no more.
You know, and the crazy thing is a few years back there was this whole. Now I don't agree with this movement. I'm just saying the QAnon thing where they were talking about pedophiles and celebrities and all that stuff. You know, the crazy thing is that stuff is true.
It's coming out.
It's just that the things that they were.
A lot of the things that
there's some truths in there.
Correct.
Yeah.
But also some of the people that are the most guilty of that sort of thing are the people that they also prop up.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and they're like, look over here, but really
Mhm.
they're the ones doing it. Like
Mhm.
they're doing it over there, not us over here. But really, it is them. It's everybody. It's everyone. It's everyone.
I mean, QAnon's a very MAGA movement. We see what's
Yeah.
happening with the Epstein files right now.
Mhm.
So, I mean, not to say that there's no truth whatsoever in anything they've ever said, but
It's just
honestly,
wild.
I think they're all a part of it. Like they're all. It's like they're the same team, but they're telling us they're different teams. That's
Mhm.
my belief on that. They are all part of it because the names on that list, victims have come out and said Obama's on that list and whatnot. Like it's on both sides. It's evil and it's there. And even just
Clinton's
watching the Diddy
definitely on the
case,
list.
the Diddy,
Who?
Clinton.
Oh, yeah.
Clintons. But like, the whole Diddy thing and everything, it's all connected. Epstein, it's all connected. And it's all connected to, in the center of it, they hurt children. So why? Like, why?
And we're not doing anything about it. We're just
Right.
letting
But
it
they
happen.
claim to love children so much.
Yeah.
they never mind.
Yeah,
They
they-
do.
Yes, right.
Oh, wrong
Right.
way. Oh, we're interpreting it wrong. Oh my God, I get it now.
Right.
A
They
lot
have
of-
to tell us karmic law. They have to tell us what they're doing without telling us what they're doing. That's the
Mhm.
karmic law. I mean, if you want to go that route, but
Yeah.
Yeah, they have to tell you without telling you.
Mhm.
It's just those of us that want to believe them or see past it and realize what they're really saying. They're telling us what they're doing.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, people are always talking about, oh, this is just conspiracy theories, and you're just trying to whatever, this, that, whatever. I'm learning that a lot of the conspiracy theories are based in truth or are completely true.
And it comes down to it, they'll just try to put in propaganda where they can to make people not believe in it, but really it is true. I've heard it out of with my own ears from victims' mouths that have survived the abuse. I know it's real. I can't sit in front of these victims and be like, there's a chance they're lying, because when you watch their body and watch what they say, they're not lying. They went through that. They had their skull cut after they were abused so their blood could be drank. Like those things happen. I've heard it from the victims' mouths themselves. That happened to them as children and as adults.
Mm-hmm.
And it's crazy to think about, because it's like, no way. It's way. It's
I'm just so angry and frustrated, and that's kind of one of the reasons why I don't pay attention to politics too much, because I get so angry and so frustrated.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's important.
It controls everything.
But at the same time, it's just like...
And everything you're talking about is inherently political.
Right. And it's stupid because in the end, like, I want to go off grid. I don't want it. My ultimate goal is to build a healing center and live off grid and help people heal themselves. That's my goal. That's where I'll be someday. I don't want to be in society. And I've thought about it. Like, why am I fighting? Is it worth it? Like, is it going anywhere? Do I have a purpose doing this? Like, it takes time out from me being a mother, a wife. Like, what's the purpose? Am I going to make changes? But then that's what everyone thinks. Everyone's on that same, like, well, what can I do to change it? What can I do to change it? When it comes down to, we all just have to realize, we have to talk about it. We have to get people. I'm stuck in a cycle here where it's like,
no, exactly. I mean,
it's pointless to fight, but if I don't fight, then it's just going to keep happening. So what do I do?
We have to, we have to make these changes to the laws.
Yeah.
We have to close these loopholes.
And we've got to get these people out of power that are avoiding it, because those are that's why they're avoiding it from their own consequence. They don't want the consequences that they have to put in place here in order to hold people accountable, because then they have to hold themselves accountable.
So. Right. Speaking of holding themselves accountable, if we require churches to track and flag all known predators internally and externally, that would be a good start too. Like, that would be another on my list.
I agree. And that goes across the board,
churches
all the way around.
Temples, mosques,
everything. I think any person who has been, any person who's been convicted or has shown a pattern of that kind of stuff definitely needs to be on some kind of list. that's
Right.
Yeah, for
actually being
real.
watched.
Right.
And
And they
Right?
should never be allowed to be near children, honestly.
Mhm.
Never should they
Never,
be in a
ever.
situation where it's like, hey, you're on a list, but only that. We're also not going to let you hold a position of any power over children, whether it be a class teacher or a young women's leader or young men's leader or primary teacher. Like all, if you are known to hurt children and you want to attend church, like Stephanie, didn't you say at one point, like they should have a single adult ward, but for the pedophiles if they want to
Yes,
continue to
exactly.
go to
If they want the
church,
predators in church so bad, make them their own building, their
where
own
everyone can be
church.
safe. If they want to
Yes.
practice Mormonism and that's what aligns with them, which is fine, do that if you believe in it, but don't be around people you can hurt because you're just a piece of shit in that. You're not who at all you pretend to be. You are not
yeah,
a
not
good.
only
I don't know. Their own wing with a wood chipper in it.
not only
I don't know. Sorry.
No,
I
it
mean,
it creates the female vigilante. It creates
It
women
does.
like my sister
so
who
Stephanie,
go,
can you talk to us about that? Because I've actually never really heard your sister's story, and you brought it up
yeah,
twice now. So
oh,
I didn't want to talk about it unless you wanted to talk about it. But I
no, I
think
do
this is a good
because
example.
I think it's important we talk about Cindy because this is full circle.
Yeah, because
It's
I honestly, like, I went into the army, you know, so that says something about me. I'm willing
mhm,
to die and I'm willing to do what it takes to keep people safe.
mhm.
And so just thinking about all this, I'm just thinking, it's a good thing I am a level-headed person because I would be a vigilante.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
same.
Hmm.
I'm at that
So
point too, where it's like it's a borderline thing. It's hard. Sorry, Steph, go ahead.
I was gonna say, yeah, Cindy, she is a female vigilante. She was, let's see here. We'll just talk about the crime. I sent you a link to her article if you want to bring it up. Um,
Um,
but in 2009, Cindy turned 18 and she left home. We met some people on MySpace and she really needed to get far away from her family, and I don't blame her.
mhm,
But she had no understandings of like normal social dynamics, and she didn't trust any systems. She didn't have any boundaries. And the thing is, like you said, you can only swallow your anger for so long before
mm,
it leaks out of you, right?
yeah.
So she had seen predators walk free, and she had seen the bishop, bail out my attacker. And then my parents put that man that, tried to attack me in my own bed in the
Hmm.
same home with Cindy.
Oh, wow.
So she saw this over and over again. And when her friend told her, it was a guy, he told her a story about an uncle who happened to be a scout leader who had also
Hmm.
abused him. And he was just living his life free like nothing happened.
Hmm.
So she went along with a pre existing plan to rob and murder him.
Really?
So, yeah, so they broke in, I believe it was 2 o'clock in the morning, to this man's home. And it was Taylor. Taylor was by the bed. He went in the bedroom, and he's the one that stabbed the first stab into the victim.
Oh.
But my sister was waiting in the hallway for him when he got up to call for help, and she met him with a knife. And she stabbed him 3 times, but
Hmm.
it was enough in the right places to kill him.
Oh, wow.
So um, they realized there was an 8-year-old boy in bed with the grandpa too when it happened. It's not normal to sleep with children, so they felt vindicated in what they did.
Mm-hmm.
Very vindicated in what they did. So, yeah, this happened on, I want to say the 9th of October. She was arrested within a week later, and then she pled guilty to murder. and she's spending life in prison without parole.
So, what does your sister say now after how many years has it been?
And 15 years.
15 years. So, what does your sister say now after she's had time to?
She clearly wishes she wouldn't have done it.
Mm-hmm.
But she's in psychosis. She's not healthy. She's never been healthy. She was probably in psychosis when they convinced her to kill.
Mm-hmm.
She was diagnosed with bipolar with psychosis. And so years and years of going into solitary confinement for things like self-harm has really put her in a horrible position where she's almost completely in psychosis most of the time.
Is
So she's
this
not, yeah, that's
is this your
Cindy.
sister? Okay.
Yeah. She's
Oh, okay. I was trying to say something because I
she's
sent
burned
it.
through all of her appeals.
Mm-hmm.
But
And
it's not so much I'm loving to get her out.
mm-hmm.
I want prisons to stop torturing prisoners. Prison
Yes,
is the punishment.
absolutely.
Yeah.
It's bad. in there.
Extended solitary confinement actually causes psychosis in people who don't have previous psychosis.
Yeah.
So
So
when
make
you're
crazy go
already
crazier.
Yeah, exactly. When you're already crazy and you stick someone in solitary for 6 months, it doesn't do any good for anyone. It just makes them more violent. It actually,
Mm-hmm.
she told me that it makes everything like everything is brighter, the sounds are louder, and every time she goes in there, she has a harder time dealing with
Oh
the
wow.
noise and socializing with other people.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. No one belongs like that.
Wow. Yeah, I remember Damien Eccles was in solitary confinement for a long time, and he basically his eyesight is very, very damaged because of that.
And
Yeah.
this is unrelated to that fact, but it is related. And I hope this is okay for me to bring up. But I feel like you've mentioned to me prior that people who have people contacted your sister on behalf of having a problem with you?
Yeah. Yeah, they have.
And that's about the Gypsy Rose
Yeah,
stuff?
that was the gypsy verse. That's actually why I left and stopped posting and stuff because I had been being about my sister to Gypsy and Bree because I was hoping they would, have somewhere to start with, fighting solitary confinement since they say that they're prison reform specialists, but they didn't
Yeah.
have any idea. And their idea was to use it against me.
Yeah.
Or we
That's
disagreed with something.
I'm so sorry because all that I've ever seen of you is you just having the best of intentions and trying to find a common ground with people. And
Yeah.
yeah,
mm-hmm.
no, that's
Yeah, I'm sorry that they did that to you, and that just shows, the type of people that
There's crazy people on the internet.
mm-hmm. Yeah, there are. And unfortunately, there's a lot of people who want to make situations even worse. And it's very sad. Well, I'm going to be praying for your sister.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because I understand,
When I was 15, I overdosed. Like I said, I told you guys last time, I have my own story to tell. But when I was 15, I overdosed. And in that, I ended up in a mental hospital. And I was supposed to be there for 72 hours, but I ended up being there for 5 weeks. And in that, I was placed in solitary confinement. And they locked me in there for 8 hours one day. By the time they got me out, I'd slammed the back of my head over and over and over into the cement wall. My hands were bloody. My head was bloody. It's hard. It's rough.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. I know my own little story of it. I can only imagine.
They'll use up to 120 days at a time of treatment.
I was in there 8 hours. I was 15, but yeah.
Can you imagine what that does to your psyche?
Right.
No, I can't.
I
there would be like 7 friends in there with me by the end of it, like in my head. You know what I mean? Like,
right? I'm sure she's got a couple in her head
right.
now.
You would have to. That's how you survive and cope those situations. At
It
least for
is.
my
It
own.
really is.
Yeah.
Wow. I never even thought
Nothing-
about it, but yeah.
Nothing but love for people in those situations, really, because people in those situations probably need love more than anyone else in this earth, really.
Yeah, Bubbles, you're right. People forget. Any of us could wake up tomorrow experiencing some sort of crisis, and we all deserve a little compassion and empathy.
Absolutely.
I agree.
I completely understand that. I've
I agree.
been through
So,
psychosis episodes.
Yeah, they're real.
Years long.
Statistically, I can say that word now. Jesus Christ. Statistically,
I've never
though,
been through
female
anything like
vigilante is a
that.
new category.
Mm-hmm.
It actually is, and it's crazy. It hits me like the difference between Cindy and someone else is, well, she didn't have money, but if she was a bishop and did the same thing, she would have been bailed out, and she would have had a really good attorney provided to her by the church, you know. But because she's a traumatized girl who went through hell and was literally tortured, there's nothing for her. It's just
I'm sorry.
it's sad. It's sad because she wasn't born that way.
So
May have been a little
you,
off, but she wasn't born that way. She was made.
yeah. So you just brought something up. If she were rich, they would have hired a lawyer. Do you know of any situations like big cases where that's happened?
Oh yeah. There's a BYU player. He was touching a girl for several years. BYU baseball player, star player of the team, and he just got 180 days and doesn't even have to register. And he, I think, has 6 months probation after his 180 days. But he got convicted of being of touching a girl for several years of her life when she was young.
Starting
And
when she was 7.
yeah,
Is
He
that,
started
yeah,
assaulting her.
I didn't realize that was a BYU thing. The dude and his like mom was caught on video. Like, oh,
I thought that
it's
was
okay.
in Stillwater. That was in
oh, maybe. Well, there's just a lot of shit.
There's a lot of pedophiles are everywhere.
Yeah, that guy was in Stillwater. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oklahoma.
I wonder if he's Mormon too. I don't know.
Yeah.
Who knows?
By the behavior, I'd say it's not far-fetched.
And it's like, for the love of God, why would you defend your child after knowing that? Like,
right.
Maybe
like,
still talk to them while they're in jail, I guess. But like, I cannot fathom just being like, I'm going to excuse this and keep you safe. It's
my
okay,
baby's
honey, don't worry.
perfect. Sorry. That's like the mentality that yeah, no.
Yeah,
no, if my children do something wrong, they're going to pay the price for it.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Yep.
Well, thankfully, none of us will do either, or neither one of us will do anything like that. That's
yeah, I've already told Laura if she gets put in jail, she's going to have to sit there overnight at least to learn her lesson.
It depends on what it's about.
You'll survive a night. You'll
like
survive a
good.
night.
Well,
I'll
if
be
it's
tougher
good,
for it.
If you do something to get put in jail,
like I'm protesting or something.
Okay, that's different. But if you're actually doing something stupid, you're gonna sit your butt in jail at least a night.
Darn, there's no my weekend.
Like stupid, like drinking and driving or something, you know?
Nah.
Oh, that no, you'd be.
I'd be gone.
You'd be under the jail.
Hurt.
Well, I'd be super gonzo because I drive a truck right now. So. Like, not only did you do some stupid shit like that, you did some stupid shit like that with my truck. Not happening.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I'd be put away. But yeah, I don't know. I have mixed feelings on the vigilante thing because it can be very complicated and a lot of times it makes things worse.
Yeah.
But then like also like immediately after something that happened last year with a certain healthcare CEO, people's claims started being approved, and even my particular health insurance was going to implement something the day prior, stating where you have to pay for like extra for any extra anesthesia you have to get during like a surgery or something.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, and so they like once that happened, the day afterwards they repealed it. So I don't know. Like, I don't think it's great for anybody to be, taken out.
Mhm.
But also, it's like he was also committing violent acts, maybe in a less direct way.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? So it's like it's so complicated. I don't know.
We
Like, I'm
can't
not
live in a civilized society and allow vigilante justice. However, I
Yeah.
understand how people got there.
Well, yeah,
I agree.
there was a dad who I just saw it recently. I don't know what state it was in, but it was dad. He ended up, I guess, stabbing a guy like 17 times.
That
for
was in
talking-
Oklahoma.
Okay,
that
thank
guy
you.
should have been acquitted.
If he for
Yeah.
like for whatever the guy said about his daughter or whatever, like
He's-
whatever. Like,
No, he assaulted his daughter. He
Yeah,
didn't
okay.
just say
Yeah,
something
he
about
assaulted
his daughter.
him.
there was
He
another
actually assaulted her.
So there's situations where as a parent, what do you do? Because I know for me, if I was home that night or if things happen differently as a parent, and what do you do? Like,
Oh, if I'm there, it's on.
right? Like it comes down to how many people have come to me in the comment section over the last 4 years and said, "Hey, do you need a backhoe? Like, what do you need help with? Like, we got him. Like, just take him out, shoot him between the eyes." In
But
the
that's
end,
yes, because it creates vigilante justice. With them
Right.
moving around these predators, it creates them. And
people
it
are
is
so
creating
angry,
a very new specific type of female murderer.
right?
Okay.
Yeah,
And it happens
it's
to be
like-
my sister.
Right. Well, and
We
even
wouldn't-
the what was she, like 15-year-old girl who killed her own rapist that was holding her captive, and she's locked up
I
for
think it was a 17-year-old girl. Yeah.
Oh,
Thank you. Yeah.
She was
That
being
was,
pimped out and she killed her pimp. Yeah.
Yeah, that was
yeah,
what's
that's
her
not the
name?
person that Kim Kardashian helped. I forgot her name, but yeah.
What's her name?
She should
It
not be
starts with a
serving
T
time in
or-
prison.
It-
They
yeah,
should have
it's
thanked
so
her.
backwards. Like our system
I
is
don't get it.
backwards.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I mean, you're right. Like, people just moving around predators or not doing anything about it is what creates vigilante justice. And
Yeah.
like, which one's worse, vigilante justice or
Hurting children.
I don't know. It's
But
like you have to make a decision.
They-
If you don't want people being murdered, then take
Like-
care of it.
Then take care of
Right.
it yourself.
Mhm.
Right. If
Exactly.
you don't want prison justice, if you don't want street justice, vigilante justice,
Mob
then the law
justice.
has to take it seriously and the law has to prosecute like accordingly. And unfortunately or fortunately, I'm not sure which, but I agree with the laws in Louisiana and Florida. If you assault a
Mhm.
child under 12, you deserve the death penalty.
Should be every child.
agree.
But yes.
I agree. But
I
like
agree too.
I am on
100%.
board with that.
Yes.
I know somebody.
I can't justify the vigilante justice because we can't have a civilized society and
Yeah.
have people taking others out.
I agree.
Absolutely. Like
I
it would
agree,
be
but-
ultimate anarchy, chaos.
I agree,
Right,
but
it
let
would
somebody
be.
hurt somebody
I'm-
while I'm there and it's on.
I don't
It's
know.
it's such a weird dynamic. It's so
I'd say, like, on paper, I agree with
Yeah.
what you're saying. But I don't know, man. I think certain things are like case by case. I don't know. I on paper I do agree. But at the same time, sometimes shit doesn't get done until you do it. And
Well,
I'm not
that's
saying
why-
that as someone who's going to be a vigilante, because I'm not. I don't want to go to jail. I'm
No, I
too much
definitely
of
don't
a-
want.
Right?
I'm
No.
also too much of a pussy to, carry out anything unless I absolutely have to, life or death type shit. But at
She'll
the end of
just
the
call
day, yeah, no, I have called mom, but I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I know somebody in Florida that has a victim under 12, and I think he's past limits on that, but he is in prison right now, and I hope something happens to that bastard. That's
the
that
prison
dude that-
system, they don't like pedophiles. I have a lot of people on my in-laws side that they're
Isn't that
involved in the prison
horrible?
world. They do not like pedophiles, and if they were not protected, that political system within the prisons would take care of every single
Oh,
one
yeah.
of those people.
They would.
100%.
I don't believe these people can be reintroduced into society without
They
being a
can't.
danger to children for the rest of their lives.
No.
Right.
They can't, and that was one of the things that I was going to mention earlier is not only should somebody who hurts a child be put on a register or shamed or whatever, but we should also not 40 years later or 20 years later decide, oh, they're perfectly fine now. They haven't had any instances.
Oh, they just spent the last 15, 20 years in jail. Therefore, they're good now. It's like, they haven't been around kids in that time.
Or they're hiding it better than they did before.
I mean, I feel like
I looked up research on how many victims an average predator has. It's 117 in their lifetime.
Yeah.
117 fucking children in their lifetime.
And how many do they abuse before they get caught? I think it's a pretty high number. Like,
usually about 117.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's true because, you know, this topic is infuriating.
It is.
And it's
But we have
taboo.
to talk about it. We have to make it safe for our children and grandchildren to go to church. We have to make our community safe, and we have to
wake the people up
as survivors.
We have to wake the people up that haven't experienced it because they don't think it's happening. Guess what? There's a little girl in your church who you don't know it's happening to because she's smiling and she's running around, but it's happening to her. There's little boys that are acting normal, but it's happening to them. So wake up and start demanding better from your leaders. Hold them accountable and stop pretending that they're better because you believe so. Like, because we're being told those things. Like, you have to wake up from that. The world has to wake up. Utah, wake up. Stand up.
The world wake up.
Right. Like, exactly. It's
right. We should all be able to unanimously agree on this.
I mean, totally agree. There shouldn't even be a question. I mean, it should not even be a discussion.
Like, why has it been so taboo for the last however many years to talk about this? And now we're at a point where we're realizing how bad it really is. And, you know, the world's divided on it because half the people don't believe it's actually happening. The other half don't know how to stop it. And the rest of them are a part of it. So it's just like, in the end, how talking about it's the only way that we start getting everyone involved.
And we need to connect with more survivors too. To make this work.
Give them the courage to stand up, because I know I was told when I got graduated from my final rehab at almost 17 years old, I was told, I want to be a motivational speaker someday. And it was just like, no, we're actually going to move 700 miles and just pretend this never happened. And then it was 20 years of me pretending that my life had never happened, when at 15 years old, I'd already experienced more than most people know at 70. And we got to talk about it. Like, it took me 20 years to talk about my life. And now I'm at a point where I'm ready to help others talk about theirs. So let's hold hands and we'll get through it together. I will listen to you and I will hug you and I will hold you as you talk about what you've been through, because nobody did that crap for me. But I know everyone needs that to be able to survive it and to be able to talk about it and to be able to heal it and change it. So, there's millions of us survivors out there. So let's start talking about it. We all deserve our power back. We all deserve our voice. And let's talk about what you've been through so that we can change it.
No, absolutely. You know what? I was just looking because I was trying to remember exactly what this person did. So this person got in trouble way before I ever met him, went to jail for 7 years. And then he solicited basically CP for me as a child. And right here, this motherfucker right here. I should share his name. I'm not going to, just because I don't feel like talking to his brother. I think I still have him on Snapchat, but he pisses me off because he's a weirdo too, for different reasons. But anyway, I just looked it up, and in 2023, after I had already reported him for soliciting CP for me, he got arrested for a victim under 12. So I don't know how far back that dates. I don't know how far back people can get in trouble for and be put to death for. But it wasn't.
They removed statute of limitations, so you can still report it.
Well, no. She already reported. I reported it. Completely ignored. After I reported it, because he had already gone to jail for 7-8 years before I ever met him. When I reported it, nothing happened, and then it looks like in 2023 he got arrested again for something like that. So by me saying that, I'm saying the new law about under 12, you can be taken out. I don't know if that applies to him or not, because I don't know if it's within a certain time frame or not. Right, but this is not his first offense. not his first offense. And the fact that I reported him, nothing happened.
Well, wasn't there something about some posters at the park or?
Oh yeah. So I remember because I had a crush on his younger brother who was 19, and he would touch my boobs, but he wouldn't actually date me.
Pig.
What a
So
creep.
yeah, and now he's married to someone who's younger than me. None of my business. Anyway. Only by like a year or two, but still. But I was 15, and so anyway, yeah, one of my friends, she was telling me, oh, you probably don't want to go talk to so and so's brother. He's a weirdo. Never told me why. So one day I just happened to be at the park. I was at the beach actually, and at the beach and at the parks they have these like little things where they show you all the offenders in the area. I was like, oh my freaking goodness.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a good idea. They should do that everywhere.
Did they not do that everywhere where they don't have the predators in the area in the parks?
No, I think there's some type of stipulation with it.
Look them up.
I've heard of this.
No.
Oh wow.
No, that's like legit a thing in Florida. Like I would go and I literally saw his face on the predator, like freaking whatever the hell it was of the thing. And I was like, oh my God. And I went to my friend and I was like, what did he do? And she's like, oh Lord. And I was like, and you didn't tell me that? She's like, well, I told you he was bad news. I was like, bad news and doing something to an 8-year-old are two different things. Like
right. Bad news is he doesn't have a job and you're not going to get anywhere.
I want to say,
or he smokes weed.
Right.
Me.
No. When
like not a pedo, just say he's a pedo.
Right.
Yeah. Yes. Because I almost met up with him. Thank God I didn't. But
right. Oh. When it's interesting you say that. I think in Utah, because I remember I was so mad that nobody told me who Jonathan was. I said something like that. I want to go put his poster everywhere. Mm-hmm. And I believe I was told by someone up in the law enforcement that I wasn't allowed to do that. I was just saying Utah, we're not allowed to do that because I was told I couldn't do that. I was literally told I could not post his picture anywhere.
Yeah, like Alora said,
I wanted to.
In Florida, I don't know if it's here in Missouri because I haven't been to the parks.
I haven't seen any at any parks that I've been to here.
There's been people here.
Florida,
go ahead. Sorry.
Everywhere. No, that's all I had to say.
Yeah.
Florida, everywhere. Pictures.
No, yeah. There's been people like old men here who have been confronted by mothers who are, why are you taking pictures of my kid here at the park? And then they call the cops. The cops don't do anything about it. And they have video proof that there's old creepy men at the parks here and they don't do anything.
That is disgusting.
Oh, no.
It's in the mom groups, you know?
Children, but yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not having children. Fuck that. Like,
it's crazy. Like, what is
the amount of people you have to hide them from? And
it's everywhere. It's like
even people in your own home. Like, it's like I wouldn't even want to post pictures of my child on Facebook if I had one because it's like who knows? Who knows?
And they use that stuff now for all sorts of stuff. They can make those pictures into AI. It's scary. It's so scary.
You're most likely to be trafficked by your family. You're most likely to be sexually assaulted by your family, close friends, or a neighbor. Yeah. Like. My case, mine was my stepsister's husband, like my brother-in-law. Like I should have been able to trust him.
Yeah, my aunt's boyfriend. He's a doctor now. That was my case. Everyone trusted him. Nobody knew he was a creep. And like I didn't even remember until I was in my 30s. And when I remembered, it was like, oh, well, maybe he was just experimenting. Somebody told me.
Oh, that's what I was told. Charles and I were just having this conversation earlier because he made some joke about something, and I was like, "That's what they said to me." That's
what they said to me.
They said to you, and you're like, you experiment when you're in college, not when you're 5 years old. And again, I don't blame any like children for anything that happened because fuck, we were children and whatever.
I was told he was experimenting. Like maybe he was just trying it out for once. It's like you don't just try out being a pedophile.
You don't experiment. No,
right. And then at my expense, but okay. Like I ended up almost dying at 15 because of my trauma, but maybe he was just experimenting. I was just the bad kid. It's fine.
No, I get it. I've had things happen to me by cousins, friends, people from church, people.
And we were vigilant.
And it's just the things that I remember because there's things that I have like slight thoughts of, memories of that I can't put a face or a name or a situation to it.
Right.
Your brain has just
Your brain has barricaded it off, so you
Yeah.
can't access it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
and
were
sometimes I get-
extremely vigilant. We were
Yeah.
extremely on top of stuff too. So
And
My
sometimes I
dad
get
was dying of
flashes
cancer.
things.
Nobody knew to watch out. Like we were naive because we were LDS, but my dad was dying. So all the adults were. I mean, he died in '97, so like he was very, very sick, and in that, like everyone was looking over there, which is fine. Like I don't blame anybody but the person who did it. But yeah, it's
He took advantage. He saw an opening and he took
100%.
advantage.
And now he's just living in Arizona with children, and he's an eye doctor, and he's rich, and my whole family disowned me because of my life and the way I've gone. I don't have family anymore, and
well, you didn't meet him.
it's heartbreaking
Yes.
to me.
Yes, Jamie's right.
devastating.
We are labeled as the bad and immoral ones, as the victims.
Yes,
Yep.
I was.
And it is our job to forgive and forget
Yep.
and let the perpetrator go back into society and heal. And that's
Yeah.
what we're taught generation
God's-
after generation here in
It's
Utah.
not okay.
And we need
No.
to have
Mhm.
we need to have this big public campaign, report to the police, not to your pastor or your bishop.
Yeah.
No kidding.
At this
No,
point,
I agree.
That
members
needs to be
of the
a huge
church, if you're
nationwide campaign.
abused, don't go to your bishop. If you're abused, if
Right.
your children are abused, don't go to your bishop, members of the
Call
church anymore.
911.
Go straight
Yeah.
to the
Appropriate.
police. And some police won't even help you. So you fight. Don't go to the church. Your bishop's not
It
there.
sucks.
Well, and that's the thing I
know.
worry about, because those police are probably
Covering
there's
it up
Mormons.
too.
There's
There's
bad
that
too.
shit.
Yeah.
Well,
They are-
yeah, especially in small
Well,
Mormon towns.
here,
where-
Nothing ever happened.
People of power are getting arrested all the time here for child crimes. And it's in the news, it's weekly. It's either a teacher who has been working with kids for decades, it's a doctor who's been working with kids, or it's a fire chief, or it's a mayor, or it's somebody every week. And it's always somebody that works with children and is
I
supposed to be
sent
trusted.
her, I just sent Amber, I think it was yesterday or the day before, another article where the guy pled guilty to assaulting minors and he's not going to serve any time, and he's a
Yeah.
therapist.
Just because that guy. Yep, I know
Therapist?
exactly who
Yeah.
you're talking
He's
about.
a therapist. He's
Yeah.
a therapist.
Yep.
He at least lost his license, or
No.
Which one is
Well,
it?
I get that. Just to show you, some of these people aren't even excommunicated. When I was 23 years old, I went to my bishop because I was scared I was never going to be with my dad again, because that's what they teach in the Mormon church. If you don't live by the standards, then you're not going to be with your family after death. And so after having my child, that made me very scared, because I thought, now I'm not going to be with my baby or my dad because I never lived the way I was supposed to. So I went to my bishop, I confessed my sins. And in that, he goes, well, are you sorry? And I said, no, I'm not sorry, because I have my beautiful daughter. And he's like, but she was born out of wedlock. I said, I understand that she was born out of wedlock, but I love my daughter, and every choice I made led me to get her. So I don't regret any of it. And he goes, well, in that case, we're going to have to excommunicate you. And in that, I left the church that day, and I never turned my back. I never went back, never looked back at those doors, and never returned, because I was
can't
going to be
believe
excommunicated for not being sorry. But a man can touch a child and be fine.
I can't believe that. I'm so sorry, Stephanie.
I'm
I
okay.
can believe it.
I'm
I do
grateful.
believe it.
I'm not there.
I do believe it. It's just what is wrong with these
disgusting.
people?
Right. My personal
So
choices
much.
were enough to get me excommunicated, but I didn't hurt anybody in the process. It was just choices they didn't agree with, that were against the rules. And because anyways.
I've got this video for you, that the therapist.
Yeah, this is gross.
Now to an update on the former Utah psychologist accused of having underage clients undress and as he filmed them during therapy sessions. It appears that man has now entered a guilty plea. KSL investigator Courtney Johns joins us with the latest. Courtney?
Robert Didinger is pleading guilty to 3 of the 12 charges that were filed against him, including 2 felony charges of sexual exploitation of a minor. But the remaining 9 charges were all dismissed with prejudice. Didinger has been in jail since April, with at least 5 victims listed in charging documents. Now, 7 months later, as he entered his plea, it appeared he didn't understand how much time he could actually spend behind bars.
At That's 1 to not 0 to 15. That's 1 to 15.
It is 1 to 15 years in prison.
But as the AG's office presented the deal, it all started to make sense. Now, in their plea deal, they are recommending 364 days in jail and 48 months probation. Now, we reached out to the AG's office asking if Didinger will get credit for time served, meaning that he would only have a few months left, which is pretty common in these deals. They did not respond. Now, that being said, a judge will make the final call during his sentencing, which is in January. As for those 5 victims, the AG's office says they could only track down 2 of the 5 victims, and one of them did not want to participate. Didinger has been on the psychology licensing board radar for nearly a decade for inappropriate behavior, like admitting to touching a minor in 2017, but they continue to let him practice. And you can read more on our investigation by going to our website at ksltv.com.
They continued to let him practice after it was reported in 2017. He kept his license after it was known he was touching children inappropriately.
I am furious. And this happens every day.
It happens
multiple
so
times
much
a
in
day.
Utah.
Yeah.
I
Like you
mean,
said,
that's not even Maurice Harker with the Sons of Helaman. He's bad. Like, he broke a lady's arm.
I
Like,
don't
he
even
was-
know who that is.
Oh, you should Google him real quick and then pop up an article.
Who is it?
His name is Maurice Harker, Harker. And he's a Utah therapist who actually,
Assaulted patient to rid her of her demons.
What?
yes,
Okay, hold
please. Yes, exactly.
Okay, we're gonna read this.
Oh, wait. Real quick. Sorry. That's up on the screen. And I don't want that on the screen. Okay. Sorry. We're good.
Okay, you want to read that, Laura?
Not really, but I will. No, I'm just fine. You're good. Okay.
popcorn.
A former Farmington therapist and founder of a Utah-based life coaching practice who was charged in Davis County this week with assaulting a vulnerable patient to rid her of her demons is also facing professional sanctions. Maurice Harker, 54, is accused of forcing the female patient to the ground, dragging her on the floor, covering her nose and mouth so she couldn't breathe, slamming her against his office door and not allowing her to leave the room. According to charging documents filed Tuesday in 2nd District Court, he's also accused of encouraging the patient to watch pornography and to get rid of the demon he claimed possessed her, telling her he needed to teach her about sex, and creating an online dating profile for her where he would pose as the patient to talk to suitors, the charged documents state.
What kind of sick person is
The
this?
Utah Division
He was
of a
suggested by the
professional life-
church.
Utah's
Like,
full of these people.
Just
Honestly,
like Jody.
Yeah.
Just like
Yeah,
Jody,
yeah.
he runs a similar program like Jody does called the Sons of Helaman, and it's to free youth from pornography addiction and stuff.
What the hell?
Mm-hmm.
Guys, anybody that's in this kind of work, look at them a second time.
Yeah, I thought I had weird therapists, but
You did have one word there.
I
Even
had all weird therapists. I had a therapist that was friends with my aunt, and then I had a therapist that basically called me a whore. Like I've never had a good therapist.
Yeah.
But it's like therapy can be a very useful tool, but then it's like you send your children to somebody and it's this.
Right?
when I
You
was
know-
sent I was sent to residential treatment when, like I mentioned, when I was a teenager, and in that I was never abused, but I lived in California at the time, and I was sent here to Utah, and kids in my programs, like staff members that were there when I was there, were abusing girls. And it's a very known problem here in Utah with these residential treatment centers. I also was sent to a wilderness program out in the middle of the Utah desert where I spent I have a story, but in that
She
though,
does.
kids were abused in those programs severely. I hiked 5 to 11 miles a day. I was 15. I was dropped off in the middle of the desert with a 50-pound backpack, and I was told to make fire with sticks. And
Oh my
in that,
gosh.
and the abuse of children in Utah is so deep, and it's not just sexual abuse.
Utah
It's
has a
insane.
child torture problem.
They do. And actually the wilderness program I went to, it shut down a few years ago. They were forced to close their doors.
Good.
Yeah,
Is it the one
I
the girl
mean,
died at?
I don't.
What was that?
Is it the one the girl died at?
No, not that one. Well, actually, they changed their name a couple times from what I understand, so I'll have to look into that. But I know what you're talking about.
Now, I know that I wouldn't want to get into it too much because I don't want to, say something about this person. But we have a family member that went through something like that. That was very, very avoidable. And I know that person never came back the same.
Yeah.
At all. And then there was, Paris Hilton in, what was it, Provo Canyon? That's in Utah as
That's
well,
very
right?
close
Yeah.
to actually,
And
Paris Hilton was sent to a program that I have a friend from California. She passed away when we were 18, but she got sent there. And then I know Paris Hilton went to the same program that in my program girls went to, and then they transferred to my program. So like I went to the program I was in, I think was one of the better ones out of all of them. But there were girls that were being abused there. And it came out into the news a few years ago that someone had been arrested for it. And I remember talking to my mom, and I was just like, I was never abused there, but like girls were
Not
being
just
abused.
physical abuse too.
This is sexual abuse.
Oh, we know.
But my mom just said they must have not done it to you because they knew you're too loud of a mouth. But like, I wouldn't have let them get away with it. But at least I don't know. But either way, now I just know that it's the children are not being protected on so many levels. And I know that from my own experience. I know that from my experience with the government and my son. And I know that nobody's coming to save us if we don't stand up. Nobody is coming to save us. Let me put that's the government is not coming to save us. Nobody's
We
coming.
have to make these changes.
We have to
We have to
demand
stand
these
together.
changes.
No, I agree. And I think, so we're actually on NBR tonight. So we have to cut it at about 2 hours. But that's the prevailing overall message here is we've got to all stand up and say, we're not going to accept this anymore. I mean, it has to take all of us just saying, we're not going to do this anymore. This can't happen.
It is.
We can no longer live our daily lives and pretend that it's not happening. And we can no longer live our daily lives and allow victims to suffer, because those victims need us to come in. They need us.
Can you imagine how powerful it would be if we could get like a nationwide protest or rally to get as many women as we possibly can who have been abused?
Hey,
To
let's do
stand
it.
in front of to stand in front of the Capitol building in your area, stand there, represent, stand there, hold hands. And that, I think, is how we're going to make an impact. If we stand there like we did with the No Kings protests, we stand there hand in hand. That is how we're going to make things change.
Well, in the background, let's talk about a day and
try and work something out.
Yeah,
'cause I mean,
and do it all over the country.
Because
Let's go.
I went to the No Kings protest. There was quite a turnout where I was at, and I went to the Capitol specifically, but there were other places in my state that also had really great turnouts. So it's definitely possible.
Yeah, so I think that's something that we should really honestly work towards, and I will definitely help you do that. I will most definitely help you do that.
Yeah, thank you. Let's
Okay.
go. Let's go, ladies.
Okay, well, everybody listening.
But wouldn't that be cool? Wouldn't that be so impactful if we could get all the victims to stand there side by side and say enough is enough and it ends with me?
Right.
And like Stephanie says, no one is coming to save us. We have to
Mhm.
save ourselves. And this is us
Exactly.
saving ourselves.
Exactly.
No longer
And
letting them hide in plain sight.
Exactly.
Let's do it. I'm with you guys, and I actually, we live fairly close to the Capitol, so of Missouri. So I definitely am all in for that. I will definitely push that. That's something that and I know the women in the prison system, at least in Chillicothe, they'll stand with us too.
I mean, they can't.
And that is so valuable.
But they can stand with
support.
us, whatever they do. No, because I
Well, they
brought
are
that up.
victims also.
No,
they
that's the
are
reason I
victims.
brought it up is because, my cousin, went around and did like a poll of everybody that she could talk to, about the different things that they've experienced and why they're in there. And every one of them, from everything I remember, have sexual abuse and trauma in their lives from either a child or from man or whatever, and so it's something that affects these women on a daily basis.
Of course.
I was lucky, honestly, for myself, because I got to a point where I was walking down a path and I was going to be one person or another person. And ultimately I decided to fight for myself. And I'm now, sober, a mother and a wife, and I'm fighting for not only myself and my son, but everybody else as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like that, I have so many friends that I've buried, and I have so many friends that I don't know how they're doing, and they're not doing good. And it's, it's a teeter. Well, you're gonna go one way or the other. And if you don't have support, likely you're gonna go that way. We need,
you fall towards the drugs and the, all the stuff.
Yep, exactly. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm ready
It's
to
like
do
I was
this.
talking about the other day. It's that rage that ignites in you when you've been abused.
Yep.
And
When
if you don't,
fire.
if you can't douse that rage in you, then you kind of become a criminal. You really don't care what people think anymore, and you don't care about society
because you've been told you don't matter.
Yeah, exactly, because you've been told you don't matter.
Yeah.
And I would venture to say almost all addicts have been abused.
Oh, I stand by that too, in one way or another.
Yep. Alcoholics and addicts. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, no, and just people who get into trouble in general
Just
usually have had
people. Most people have just been abused, even if they didn't realize it or they didn't fully process it as that until years later or ever. You know what I mean? Just most people have gone through something, and
even if they didn't,
terrifying.
Even if they didn't go off the deep end and making crazy choices, they, there's some people that don't act that way, but I think, if we all stand in a room with somebody and ask them to raise their hand if they're willing, most of them would probably raise their hand and say that they were abused in some way. And
so let's stop making this subject taboo.
Yep.
Let's start talking about it and sharing our experiences, because that's the only way to make it not taboo.
Right.
To stand in the truth and realize that you have nothing to be embarrassed about. We have nothing to be embarrassed about.
The shame's not with us.
Right. Why I don't understand why we carry the shame. I'm not the pedo.
Right.
I didn't do anything wrong.
When I was 13, I was taken advantage of, and I was told, well, because you were drinking, it's kind of your fault. And it was like, well, no, like I was something taken from you that day. That was not my fault.
It was the adult's fault. It's not.
And I was drinking because I was a 13-year-old traumatized child. So
if you're any age and you're drinking, a year and change ago, I was drinking and had something happen to me, and it still wasn't my fault. You know what I mean? And I apologized for it, and I feel bad for it. It didn't go as far as it could have. It really didn't at all. But still, just any time, no matter who you are, no matter what choices you've made, if you tell someone no or don't cross a certain line, and they cross that certain line, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You didn't ask for it. Any age.
Yeah.
Any kind of drugs, alcohol, anything.
Yeah, we've been programmed on a level to believe it's our fault.
Yeah.
And then when someone tells us, an adult man who is our bishop tells us it's our fault and calls us a whore, basically, and tells us we're never going to see the insides of the temple wall because we didn't fight to stop whatever, it's
not okay.
You put yourself in the situation or whatever. Yeah, it's insane.
Well, I encourage everybody listening live now or on the replay to join us, to stand up and just start talking about it. quit making it taboo, quit being
Mhm.
embarrassed or humiliated.
Or even if
Um,
you are embarrassed, just stand up and say it
Yeah.
anyways. Because I can tell you, you watch my videos on my TikTok, my voice shakes. I am terrified
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
come out in public. Even in my last video with you guys, I rewatched it, and the whole time my voice is shaky. Hopefully,
I
I'm a little
know.
better this time.
You are.
I'm
The point is
terrified. I'm
neither.
terrified to
Yeah,
do this.
we're both terrified of this. Like
Mhm,
public speaking is not something that I love either.
mhm.
It's
Well, I'm very proud of you, and I thank you guys for coming on.
thank
And
you.
this is not the last discussion that we're going to have about this. You know, I would definitely love to carry this on. And Alora and I have been going over the Amy Duggar King book about
Oh,
all of that
interesting.
stuff.
Nuts.
So, yeah.
No, yeah.
Oh, the
I'd be
Duggars.
super. I'd be
Yes.
Thank you
They
so
super
are a
much.
diving
whole
into
book
it.
in themselves,
Yeah.
literally.
Well, Mary Duggar was her Sunday school teacher, so
Yeah.
Oh.
so I was like super deep diving into it earlier. I've actually like tried to finalize making a channel, so maybe in the new year we'll get something on
Awesome.
there. We'll see.
That's the first
It
I've heard
takes
of
a
it.
lot. Well, if you would have
Just
closed all the tabs that I had,
Oh, my bad.
she closed like 20 of my
Amber,
tabs.
I just want to
It's
ask
okay.
like one last question.
Yeah.
What would happen if all of us sent our survivor stories into our legislator and demanded that they make these changes? What
They
would
would have to
happen
listen to us.
if all of us did that?
They would
That's what it's
have to
gonna
listen
take.
to us.
Every one of us, and not just us four. It's every one of us, as in every one of us.
Every
Mhm.
one of us that believes that this is a righteous and just cause.
Yes. And for anyone that may not understand or not know how bad it really is, start listening to the victims. Start
Yeah.
listening to them. Watch their body language. Listen to their words, and you will know in your soul they're telling the truth.
Mhm.
And get the strength to stand with them too. And
Yeah.
we need some pretty standard, like pretty solid men to come stand with us too. Like you good guys out there,
Seriously.
stand up with us women, because we need your voices too.
Yeah.
If you're a piece of shit, stay away. But you
Yeah.
good
Yeah.
men,
We'll suck you out real quick.
But
we
for
will.
real, for real, I started speaking out about my story because I met Stephanie, because Stephanie was sharing her story. It gave me strength to talk about my story. And I know how impactful my story can be because it's got the whole life cycle, you
Mhm.
know? But I think Stephanie and I are stronger together. We
I
can
agree.
tell this whole story. We can tell what happens in the church and outside the church. And you know what? We need another person to stand with us and give us another perspective. We
Mhm.
need as many as we can get.
Yep.
No, I agree.
Yes.
I agree. So
All walks of
anybody
life.
listening,
Yeah.
please reach out and you know,
Any
you can find them.
division. Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say you can find Stephanie Davis on
Mhm.
TikTok and Mrs. Fancy Pants. I mean, you can find her on TikTok, but you don't do much content, do you?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I kind of had a change of heart and I stopped going after fancy. So I haven't done any content on there since like
Hey, that's okay.
February.
I forgot that
Um,
that's what you did. My bad.
It's
It
okay.
so I'm actually gonna rebrand my social media because I don't think it's really appropriate.
Okay.
And I think that it may steer some people away
Yeah.
because I'm making fun of a woman who said she was kidnapped. You don't know the story though. She
Well,
wasn't
we were
kidnapped.
there.
Someone gave her a ride.
She was not.
Yeah, Amber and Alora were there. They were there.
She was not
But yeah.
kidnapped. If anything, she literally was with us for like hours, so she
Yeah.
needed
She
help.
had any way to get to escape.
But anyway,
Right.
the person that kidnapped her was sick with cancer in bed. But that's besides the point. Understand, I've kind of even
Yeah.
taken a step back on really poking that bear. I kind of set her off the other day on accident, but it was
Yeah, we're
because
not
I
gonna-
thought I was blocked and she couldn't see my I didn't
I
think
wouldn't
she
have
could
said
see
it if I
me.
knew.
And then she started freaking out, and I was like, "Oh."
Yeah, I
Well,
think it's
on that
time. I
note-
think it's time to retire fancy
Yes.
pants.
I agree.
Understand.
Well, on that note, ladies, thank you for joining us tonight, and we will definitely have you back. And I am excited about this idea about, going to our capitals, going to our lawmakers, and letting people know that we genuinely want change.
And the lawmakers that are so, concerned with being pro-life should be pro-life after you leave the womb as well.
Thank
and
you.
we should be
Thank
able
you.
to protect the babies that we absolutely have to have. So, we need to protect, and even after you're not a child anymore, we need to protect our people.
Thank you. Pro-life means free lunches. Pro-life means healthcare for all.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
So on that note, thank you everybody for joining us today.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Good one in the sense that it was a very productive conversation, even though it was a tough one. So
yeah, and I wasn't sure, how emotional or upset I was going to get, because I've been watching this stuff and just getting upset. But I thank you guys for being here and for just educating us. And I really hope that we can change the world for the better.
That's the
So
goal.
please
I think
go
it's
out
going to take
there.
a lot of us.
I believe in my heart and in my bones that we can change it. I believe it with every fiber of my being.
I believe it too.
Yeah.
I believe it
They
too.
want
So,
people in church. Let's make these churches safe for the kids.
Yeah.
I agree.
Okay.
So
I'm
everybody,
not necessarily totally against the church or against God. I'm against the pedophiles, and I'm against the
And those
churches
who protect
protecting
them.
pedophiles. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're conditioned to protect them, and
Mhm.
and that needs to stop. We need to stop being conditioned.
I agree.
So,
So,
a wonderful evening.
hold your lawmakers accountable and go out there and do something good to change the world for the better.
Yep.
Have a blessed
Let's do
evening,
it.
everybody.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to Military Broadcast Radio. As we wrap up today's show, we want to remind you that the podcast of today's episode will be available right after we go off the air. So if you missed any part of the show or want to listen again, be sure to check it out. And remember, we're here to support and honor our veterans. Your stories and experiences matter, and we are committed to giving you a platform to share them. That's right. We're here to give our veterans a voice. So don't forget to catch the podcast and stay connected with us. Giving our veterans a voice.